So every single time that you've gotten on a sales call and you've gotten an objection, it comes down to one of four things. It's actually four beliefs. And once you see these beliefs, the whole entire call is going to change because you're going to understand your prospect's thinking. Okay, so what do you do when somebody objects? Your instinct is to explain and to handle it and to come out with the perfect answer to just make them see that they're wrong. And it never works, right? Because doing anything harder doesn't work. It's actually force. It's pushing. And every force has an opposite force pushing against it. So why doesn't this work? And the reason is because you're basically trying to logic a part of the brain that doesn't even run on logic. It's not about you or anything that's wrong with what you're offering. And it's not about the money. It's basically a scared part of them talking. It's the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind's only job is to keep you safe. That's it. And then here you come with your offer. And your offer is a huge threat to their safety. So you're asking them to spend money to become a different person. And that's so many alarms going off on their brain at once. So again, the subconscious mind, it does not do logic. So when you try to explain and make something reasonable, they can't hear you. The only thing that actually changes things in their brain is them figuring it out themselves. So this is why you ask questions instead of talking. It's the only thing that actually works. Okay, so there's four different things that a prospect has to believe in order for them to buy. And they absolutely have to believe all of them. Number one, I have a real problem and I have to fix it now. Number two, this problem that I have actually can be solved. Number three, this thing right here that's in front of me right now solves it. And number four, this person in front of me right now can actually get me there. So every single time that you get a no from a prospect, one of these four things is actually not true, right? And number one is actually two things because it's a problem that you have now and you've got to fix it now. So what happens is everybody gets stuck on number three because you've built this thing and you love it and you're attached to it and you know that you can solve this person's problem. So you're really busy talking about your thing. But in reality, they don't care about your thing if they don't have number one and two in the positive. So they have to believe they have a real problem and that they got to fix it now. And they have to believe that it can actually be solved. Okay, so let's go in order. Number one, I don't really have a problem, or the problem is not really urgent. So this happens a lot of times when you've recently started a business because the only goal out of your DM or your email conversation is to get a call. And so you're getting calls with a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, sure, let's compare notes. Oh yeah, sure, let's have a coffee chat. Let's explore. So they don't really believe that they have a problem and that it's urgent. So this kind of sounds like, oh yeah, we're doing fine. We might think about fixing this in the future, or we're just exploring, or maybe when the time is right. So the first thing you got to do is figure out, do they actually have a problem and not see it, or do they not have a problem? If they don't have a problem, you're wasting your time. So get off the call as fast as you can so that you can go on to the next guy that actually has a problem so that you can solve it. If they can't see that they have a problem, then you can ask them a series of questions to help them see that they actually do. What do these questions look like? where did you want to be by now? And what's this been costing you to not be there? What happens if you're in the same place a year from now? So let's pretend that you're an AI consultant. There's a lot of them out there, so I like to use that example. And you're going into businesses and helping them use AI efficiently. And they're like, oh, well, everything's running fine. We don't really have a problem. It'd be good to get into this AI stuff because, it's the wave of the future, but it's not really a big deal. Yeah, I completely understand. A lot of people are doing just fine with what they have. Where did you hope to be in revenue versus spending on employees by this point? Oh, we wanted to have, about 40% profitability. Oh, okay. So where's your profitability right now? It's at about 10. Oh, interesting. Okay. So what's the actual numerical number difference between having 10% profitability versus 40? Oh, actually, that's $20 million. Okay, so how much has it been costing you to not utilize AI employees versus the employees that you have now? $20 million. See how that happens? They come to the conclusion naturally. So oftentimes, someone's stuck at pride, which is 175. Yeah, everything's good. I have no problem with this. And by the way, if you're not familiar with the consciousness map, get familiar with it because it's at the foundation of every sales success and every sales problem. And I'll link below the foundational teaching on this, but we reference the consciousness map a lot. Okay? So, all right, that was number one. Number two, this problem cannot be solved. So this sounds like, no, it's different for me. For me, it just won't work. So nobody's buying right now, or I've been trying for years and nothing's going to solve it. So it's very instinctual to pitch here, but they actually don't need your solution. They just need to believe that a solution exists. This is the perfect place for a case study. So you're an AI consultant on a call with a dry cleaner. I'm making this up on the fly, guys. And the dry cleaner's like, no, for this industry, people, they just like to call and manually do the billing. They don't like to have a system set up where they can do this online. Whether this is true or not, true doesn't matter. This is the dry cleaner's belief. You're like, oh yeah, I can totally see that. I know that the dry cleaning business is very personal and kind of old school, but I actually worked with another dry cleaner last year and they AI'd everything and people were so responsive that their customer base doubled. Oh, interesting. Right? So you're giving them an example of that this problem can be solved. People are interested in this stuff. Okay, number three. So your thing might not solve it. So it sounds like I've done programs before, I've done coaching before, that doesn't work. I've hired consultants before and all consultants are crooks. They just charge a lot of money and they don't really deliver. So they have a belief that what you do doesn't solve a problem. This is for the people that don't believe in coaches, don't believe in consultants, have only had bad experiences, don't think that it'll ever work. So the reality here is that's not true. There are good consultants and coaches, but you can't tell them that. So if the prospect truly believes that they have a problem and the problem is urgent and the problem can be solved and they just don't know how, isn't it true that they won't know how unless they try stuff? So you make them see that through you invite them to see that through a series of questions. Have you ever done something that you had no idea if it would work, but you just had to try it and then it ended up working? And then you just shut up and let them tell you the story. Well, yeah, this one time I'm trying to think of a good story here. I didn't think having a financial advisor would work because generally they're all crooks, but I got a really good one and all of a sudden my portfolio doubled. Right. So unless you try something, isn't the problem just going to stay? Isn't the nature of not knowing how to do something that you just try different stuff? If you knew how to do something, the result would be in your rearview mirror. So, is there something else that you'd rather try instead of this solution? Well, no, I don't really have anything else. Okay, so does it make sense to try something so that you can get closer to your solution? Right, I have to try something. Right, so if the problem is urgent enough, they have to try something. And if your solution sounds like a good one, it's reasonable for them to pick your solution as a contender for something to try. Okay. Number 4. So this one has them at the bottom of the consciousness scale, because number 4 is that this solution, yes, it exists and I have an urgent problem and there's something out there that could solve it, but I just don't think it'll work for me because I'm not the type of person that responds well to coaching. I don't really know how to manage a consultant. I'm just not good enough. This is straight up guilt or shame at the very bottom of the map of consciousness. So this is really a money objection in disguise most of the time, because the person is essentially telling you it's too expensive and I don't think I get my money's worth because I just don't think I can do it. This is a huge one for coaching. Yeah, I believe that coaching works and I know that people can get great results off of coaching, but I just don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I can do it. So you can't fix this one with any kind of discount or payment plan if it's a money objection, because you're just going to get another no, because they're still going to think that they can't do it, that their money is going to go to waste. So the only thing that's really going to work here is their own evidence. So most people that are in apathy and shame see themselves worse than they really are. So you have to ask them, well, is there something else hard that you didn't think you'd be able to get done that you actually got done and you surprised yourself? Maybe they didn't think that they could ever lose weight and they got a trainer and lost a bunch of weight. Maybe they didn't even ever think that they could get married and now they're married. Right? So there is stuff that they accomplished. There is stuff that they were able to do. So you're inviting them to see their own example that is opposite of the belief that they have. Okay, so now that you know about the 4 beliefs and you know what it takes to get people to shift, think about the last few sales calls that you've had. Which of the beliefs did the prospect not have? And what did you do, if anything, to try to change it? And on your upcoming sales calls, practice this. So even if you don't shift the beliefs, make a mental note, record your sales calls, and look at which of these 4 beliefs they don't have if they don't buy.